Welcome to SI UK India YouTube live event. Thank you for joining us. We are now live with the University of Bath. Today we have Siddharth with us. He will be taking us through this YouTube live event. We'll answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start the YouTube live event. Over to you, Siddharth.
Great. Thank you. I'll just share my screen. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Right, great. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well in the evening in India. So I am Siddharth. I work in the admissions and recruitment team at the University of Bath. I was also a master's student here 2 years ago. Then I worked in Students' Union. And today we have got 2 students who are with us today. I'll just come to them just for introductions one by one. First, let's go to Aishwarya. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Aishwarya. I am currently doing Masters in Management with Finance at the University of Bath. And yes, looking forward to talk to all of you and just let you know about the university.
Great. Thank you, Aishwarya. Varsha, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Varsha Narayanan. I am doing my MSc Finance at the University of Bath. I'm looking forward to meet you guys and answer your questions and how excited are you guys about joining the university. I'd like to share my experiences as well. Over to you, Siddharth. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Aishwarya and Varsha, both of you. Okay, now we'll just do a quick presentation and we can show you how the university is, what kind of experience you will get, and what kind of resources there are available at the university. Okay, so we will begin with the presentation. So first, we'll try to cover each and everything about Bath, why you should come here. Okay, so first of all, if you have never heard of Bath, then on your right side of the screen, you can see that there's a map of the United Kingdom. So Bath is located in the southwest of England. It's about 80 minutes of London from London. So if you've been to London, it's quite close, and there are direct trains from London available, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage City as well. So it's got some nice views, that's what I'll say. But let's talk to the current students now. Aishwarya, so when you came here for the first time, what did you think about Bath? Did you find it easy to commute, or what do you think, Jennifer?
Okay, so I think for me, when I came to Heathrow first and then traveled to Bath with I was here with my family first. So we took a train from London and it was about 1 hour, 20 minutes. So quite easy. And then, so my fiance is in London right now. So I travel usually every weekend I'm in London. So I took a train pass. And so every Friday I leave for London and Monday morning I'm back. So it's quite convenient to travel from Bath to London and to other cities as well. Like there are places for summers here, like where you can go to just look at the beach and chill at the beach. So it's very convenient, I would say.
Okay, thank you, Aishwarya. Varsha, what did you think?
Thanks. I reached London and I had my uncle to pick me up. So my life was a little bit easier. I cleared immigration in like 5 minutes, and then I came out and I drove. The road drive was amazing from London to Bath. I was just looking at the scenery and everything. It was very beautiful, and I loved the city, and I'm someone who likes road trips, so I was entirely enjoying the drive from London to Bath. It was very beautiful.
Thank you, Varsha. So for just a quick information for you that is not written in the slides, for those of you who haven't been to Bath before or who are coming to join us this year, the university offers free coach collection services if you're coming alone. If you're coming with a family, then feel free to take a train or whatever range of transport. But for all of you who are coming alone, we can pick you up free of cost from Heathrow Airport directly. And multiple times. The details are live on the website now, so feel free to book the coach collection services if you are planning to come to Bath. Okay. Moving on, a bit about the student population at Bath. So about 74% of the students at Bath are undergraduate students, and normally around 30% of all students are from outside the UK or also it's a good mixture of nationalities. There may be people from China or Thailand in your class. It depends on what course are you doing. So if you're going to ask me a question about your specific courses, or I'm going to do architecture, what's nationality? What was the split of nationality? I don't know. Every year it changes, so there's no fixed answer. But let's ask our students. Ashwarya, what do you think about the student population?
Right. So I've actually worked in a lot of group work activities during my course, and
Yeah.
I've met people from England, of course, and met people from Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and made like friends with them. And I also did explore how they work. They have a very different way of working than us. So it's been amazing to work with them, and there is diversity here at the University of Bath, especially in my course at least. So I'm enjoying that. Yes.
Great. And what do you think?
I think it's humongous range of people coming and joining Bath, and especially I live in a university accommodation, and my flatmates are from Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, Japan. And the kind of interaction that I get from them is completely different. The way they are thinking, their food, and since we share the same kitchen, we get to interact a lot about food and what cuisines they like. And there were times where I gave them Indian food, they asked them to try it out, and they gave me few their dishes. And I think beyond classroom interaction, these kind of interactions, made a lot of personal connect than speaking in terms of educationally. These experiences were really great. And coming to class interaction, there were people from a lot of cities, even from Brazil. I had few of my friends from Kenya who had really different viewpoints. Their approach towards everything was entirely different. And I think that interaction as an international student adds a lot to you. So I think the diversity in University of Bath was huge.
Thanks, both of you. I hope you made friends for life and you'll get to try international all the time. That's one of my favorite things about living in an accommodation, that you get to share different cultures with so many people. Okay, so why should you go for Bath? So this is more about the academics and how the teaching is at the university. So as you can see, Bath is a triple top 10 UK university. So recently, as you can see in the middle part of your screen, we have been named the 5th university, the Complete University Guide overall. So we are just right after Cambridge, Oxford, St. Andrews, LSE, and after them is Bath. So very highly ranked. It doesn't matter what subject you have chosen. So every employer across the UK will know where you have studied, and you get good record from wherever you have graduated. And again, there's a lot of focus on employability, and we are ranked 4th for overall student experience here. And it involves a lot of activities which we will talk about in this presentation later on, and we will talk to the students as well. And in 2023, we were ranked the University of the Year, which is quite an achievement. So you will see this poster on the university website. Heavily, maybe in social media, whatever. Yeah. So now, if you want to find more about subjects, so we are ranked top 10 for 13 subject areas, and recently most of our subjects have been ranked in the QS top 100 as well. So again, you can visit the website and find more of this information, but my suggestion would be to look at the courses, we'll find out subjects or modules they are teaching you from my personal experience that impacts things rather than the overall ranking of the university. But yeah, our rankings are good if you are ranking first. Okay, so now coming on to how the experience will be at Bath. So first of all, international connection. So as I was talking to Ashwarya and Varsha earlier, and you probably heard them speaking, so you get to meet people from all different nationalities, and like they said, everyone has their different way of working. In India, maybe we've got traffic or we are busy all the time. People from Japan like to be on the time at all times. So there are some basic cultural differences which you will learn about, and maybe you go to work abroad. It's not fixed that you just work in the UK. It depends on wherever you want to live. So it's good to make those international connections. And employment skills, the university does offer you things like career services so that you can develop your employment skills. If you don't have any experience, or if you're a bit hesitant that you haven't worked in the UK before, so it can be a bit scary at the beginning, but there's a lot of support at every stage. And all of the teaching at the university is connected to the real world, and they will make you work ready, which means that all of the researchers and the people who are teaching at the university, they have worked in the field or are currently still working in the field. For example, I had a professor in my accounting and finance who used to invest in companies all the time, and he used to talk to us about it, and it was quite a fun time. So yes, you will learn from these practical experiences. It's not like, oh, I was a guy, I'm an old guy who used to be in the industry maybe like 20 years ago, and now I'm teaching, which may not be relevant. So the teaching has to be relevant according to the business scenario, which Bath really focuses on. Okay. And this is just a statement from our University of Bath Charter when the university was formed in 1966. So as you can see, there's a lot of focus on employability, and we are trying to focus on association with industry and governments, again, for developing your employment skills and keeping the teaching and research very relevant to this. So if you don't know about Bath, if you're quite new, we've got 4 different faculties. We have engineering and design, humanities, social sciences, School of Management, and Faculty of Science. So if you're interested in studying in psychology, management, marketing, or any of the courses really that you can see on the screen, then we have a wide variety of courses available. You can visit the website later to have a look at very specific courses that we have available. Okay, so now talking about one of our popular subject areas, which is School of Management. Before I go more into detail, let's talk about the building of School of Management, which you can see in the background here. So let's talk to Aishwarya and Varsha first. Aishwarya, what do you think of the building? I didn't get to use it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think I'm really grateful that I could use this building. So this is the first year, and that the building is in use, and our batch is getting to use that. So there are like plenty of study spaces inside the building. It's built really well. It's all modern. So when you sit inside the university, I mean, for me, the first experience was my parents had actually come to the university to drop me, And when we sat inside in the pavilion, which is like the ground floor, we were all mesmerized by the whole, the aura of the building. I had never seen something like this in India. So it's been a lovely experience to study in that building. And whenever, like now, it's the time for like practice track and dissertation. And we don't have to go to the university very often, but I make sure to go to the university and sit at this and use this space, because I'm sure I'm going to miss this after like 2 months. So yeah, it's been lovely.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back whenever you want it, in and around the park, to use the screens or whatever. But Varsha, what do you think of the resources that are there in the building, or maybe if you have used any like group room bookings or any specific lecture theatres? I know School of Management has got some specific that would you like to talk about?
Yeah, thanks. I think the last 8 months, this building has become second home. The amount of time that I've spent there is so much greater than the amount of time that I've spent in my room. So this building is so much attached, and every time you go, you get, and the atmosphere there, everyone sits down with their laptops. I think that atmosphere boosted me up to do my work. So I never prefer sitting at home and doing my work. I always go to 10 East and I sit down there, and I'll take all my study materials and I sit there and do all the work there. And you have computer lab in the first floor. I had one of my lab classes in the first floor, which was a brilliant which is a brilliant lab with a lot of amenities and everything, and you get amazing coffee in the building, which is why I preferred that building a lot. And there are no specific room bookings and procedure like that to access the building. You just have to tap in your library card and you just have to access the building, and you can find a spot in the ground floor, in the first floor, or anywhere else. And most of my exams were also in this building, in especially right from my induction week. I was so much inside the room number 17, which is a huge lecture theater with a lot of seating capacity and with two wide projectors, and the kind of feel that you get while sitting there was amazing. And the initial weeks, as Aishwarya mentioned, I was just mesmerized by how this building was constructed, and a lot of seniors of mine were a little jealous of us because they never got to use this, and they were like, you guys have got amazing buildings. So I think that's something that we are special, and this building is so much special to me as well.
Yeah, I would agree. I was very jealous, but I got to. That's the only thing I like. But yeah, there are other specific rules. For example, if you want to work in a group like Practice Track or whatever, then you can use those services that are available in the building. And even if you're not doing a school of management course, you can still access. All of the students at Bath can access this building. And if you just want to sit there, maybe have a coffee or a tea if you're a tea person like me. So there are many services available. Okay. So we'll go into a bit of detail. If you are considering studying a management subject, so this is what Bath specializes in. So we've got 3 different kind of options at Bath in the summer period. So as you may or may not be aware about this, so there are studying a master's is a 1-year degree in the UK, and in that 1 year, it's split into almost like 3 semesters. The first 2 semesters are where most of the teaching happens, and they last about 8 or 9-ish months. And then comes the summer part, where you do your dissertation or maybe other kinds of stuff. But let's talk about it. Practice Track is something that you work with one business and one charity group, and you try to solve any real life problem that they're facing with. But I'll try to involve Aishwarya and Varsha in this conversation, as both of them are doing practice. Aishwarya.
Sure. So my third semester, our third semester started almost 2 weeks back. So first week of June around, and we got the name, like you said, Siddharth, we are working with a charity and a client, like a company. So I have got a charity named, say, Great Western Air Ambulance Services. So it's a pretty big charity. They have a helicopter and they do the air ambulance services. So it's amazing to work with them. The second is the client. The company I opted for a finance company. I wanted that. And they gave me a bank, which is called a nationwide bank based in Swindon. So it's just started right now. And honestly, I have friends who are doing dissertation, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything, but I am somebody who chose this university just on the basis, of the practice track, because I wanted to work. I wanted deadlines. I wanted somebody, I wanted group work, something exciting. It's more practical, I think, to work with, company and the charity, because you will eventually be working after your master's. More so I think it's a good experience. And for me, I think why I chose University of Bath was the main reason was the practice track, because I didn't want to write 15,000 words of dissertation and be out for summers, and I wanted to experience university more.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I completely 1000% agree with you. That was one of my reasons too. Yeah, it does give you that practical experience, and especially for freshers, or if you're making a career switch, if you have got 0 experience, then you can add it to your CV that I worked as a consultant in the UK and nationwide at Lloyds or whatever bank or any company that you work. There are quite big multinational companies that are there. But let's involve Varsha as well in the conversation. Varsha, what's your experience like with this?
I think I definitely second Aishwarya on that, because practice track was the deal breaker for me as well when I was picking universities, because of all the universities that I applied, Bath only has the option of practice track. Or do not quote me wrong, I think Bath is the only university in the UK that offers an option called practice track. I'm not very sure on that too, though, but of all the universities that applied, Bath had this practice track. And I had this confusion while I was applying for my master's, because I'm straight from my undergrad without any work experience. So I think students like me will be having this confusion as well, like should I work and then should I opt for masters or anything like that. I just wanted to straight away get into masters, specialize, and then choose my career option. So for someone like me, practice track will definitely be a great option, because you get to work with a charity and you get to work with a corporate, and which is an amazing experience as a student. And I have got a charity called Bath Institute for Rheumatic Diseases, who are involved in the rheumatic diseases like arthritis, joint pains, and things like that. So they are based out of the NHS hospital here, the Royal United Hospital. It was Royal United Hospital and the University of Bath initially funded the charity and initially funded the organization, and then it became a charity later on. And I am also working with the same bank as Aishwarya, is a Nationwide Building Society, with my case. And it is just started, and I think with all the deadlines, we are just getting up with meetings and putting perspectives in place. And that's where I again enjoy working with the group, because all of us are from different backgrounds with different work experiences, with different thought process, and putting them together and thinking in their perspectives is all something that I've always loved. And for someone like me who has no experience, I'd say practice track is giving me a lot, and it's giving me the exact things that I wanted to, the team environment and the mindset of thinking as someone in a corporate would. That is something that I've never experienced and which I wanted to, and I'm definitely saying that practice track is giving me that. So I'm very happy with the decision that I've taken.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Varsha, and I wish both of you best of luck in the upcoming months. I'm sure you'll do great. Okay, so Aishwarya and Varsha are studying this year. So for those of you who will be joining us in September this year or the next year, we've got some exciting news for you. We've got more options depending on what you're going to study. You can check the webpage. Second option now is entrepreneurial project. And again, most of these services will be accessible to you regardless of the course that you are studying. For example, if you want to have your own startup, you can talk to your professors or school of management, they can help you do it. So entrepreneurial project is something where you learn to launch an independent venture of your own. Suppose if you have an idea, maybe you do an electric car company, whatever, if it's special, then yeah, talk to professors, it can be a part of your course. If it's great, maybe we'll give you the funding. Yeah. But there's a lot of support available, and it's good for you to learn from the practical experience rather than dissertation. That's where we are introducing these things more and more, especially in school administration. Okay. And the third option is summer internship, which is especially available in finance courses now. That instead of the dissertation, you can very well do a summer internship, which is again good for your practical experience. We just want it to be for minimum 5 weeks. If it's more than that, then whoever gets, we are more than happy for you to continue it. Okay. Enough talking about management. Let's talk about student life at the university, which will be a great experience for you. If you're going to spend a lot of money to come to the UK, you might as well experience whatever the university has in offer for you. So this is just an aerial view of how the university, the campus looks like. So we are located on top of the hill. You need to take a bus. If you want to climb, be my guest, but my suggestion is to take a bus, which is very easy, runs every 5-10 minutes during term time. Yeah, but a lot of these facilities are located on campus. Cafes, student support services, gym, whatever it may be. But let's talk to our students. Aishwarya, have you used any facilities so far? And if you have, what do you think, like libraries or whatever it may be?
Right. Okay. So I have actually used the tennis courts a lot. And also the library. I mean, like I think Varsha mentioned before that the aura is such and the environment is such that you would want to study. I mean, I was somebody who I thought that, I want to do the degree, but I would not want to like sit and research a lot on something. I was not the geek kind of a person, but I think I became like that, when I came here, because it's beautiful to like be around people who are all studying, and you would want to do that. So library is definitely one space which I've used a lot. The tennis courts. We've also played badminton a lot, and there's a lake in the, like, when you pass the management building, like, I think.
Yes, right about here, if you can see the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. So we chill a lot there after our lectures, especially during the summers now. We'll just go like grab some food from the cafe, and then we have our lunch there. So yeah, mostly those places.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Ashura. And for those of you who are coming from India, everyone that I'm speaking to is from India right now. So now we got Lay's, Kurkure, whatever you may need on campus available. I did a lot of campaign for it in my years.
Oh,
Now
that's true.
everything is available on campus. Don't need to bring up anything if you miss your home food or some snacks. Just hop on to the campus shop. It might be a bit tad more expensive, which it usually is in the UK, you'll realize. But yes, yeah, those are available on campus as well. Varsha, what kind of services, other than Ashura mentioned, what kind of services have you used?
I have used the badminton court a lot. I used to play pretty often with my friends, and it's a lovely place. The sports training village is amazing with lots and lots of amenities. You can play literally almost all of the sports there. You can play badminton, you can play tennis, you have a swimming pool. It's amazing there. And I have used a lot of study spaces. There's one in 10 West, which is amazing, which is near the student accommodation for postgrad near Polden, which is great. The environment is so good. It's actually a psychology department, but then they have 2 floors for study spaces, which is good. There are a lot of study spaces in the university apart from the library, and you can just go there. You can certain study spaces will require booking in prior, but certain study spaces are just walk-in. The silent atmosphere will definitely make you study in whatever mindset you are. So that is something I've always wanted to. And the library has an amazing collection of books. I'm someone who loves reading fiction. So I always wanted to go and explore there, take a lot of books and read them. They had really great, it's a 5-story building. I never imagined a library to be so huge, and it's open 24/7. I think that's the biggest advantage that library has got. So I can just walk in anytime and just grab a book. And there are spaces to sit in the lounge there and read, and then you can chill for a time there, and it is amazing. And as Aishwarya mentioned, the lake, now there are a lot of movie being streamed there, and I saw a couple of people playing music. They were playing football in the small space there, and the environment is so good there. And it's very scenic, and it's very beautiful to sit down and just look at everything around. It was just very cute.
Yeah. Thank you, Varsha. I have enjoyed all of these services. Both of you have mentioned too, quite extensively. But all of the students who are listening to us right now, as you can see, it is a very scenic place. You can go on and around the university for lovely little walks. And when Varsha and Ashwar were talking about bookings and the sports village, so that's what we call this area. This is the whole sports training village, where all the sports facilities are located. And just to mention here quickly, you can access all of them for free. Other than the gym, they are bookable completely for free. You don't have to pay anything. Tennis rackets, badminton rackets, whatever it may be. And there are some like contact sports, maybe if you're doing kickboxing, whatever. If you do it with student union, you may need to pay a small fee. But if they are regular sports, then everything's for free completely. You can book them at any time, whenever you want. And library is open 24/7, 365 days at all times. Okay, let's talk a bit about where you're going to live in your upcoming area. But so we offer guaranteed accommodation to all of the overseas postgraduate students. And if you are an undergraduate student, then we also offer guaranteed undergraduate accommodations on campus for most of them at the university. But the only condition is you should apply by the deadline, which is mentioned on the screen. There are different price ranges depending on the ones that you go for. On-suite ones are the most popular ones, but if you want your own kitchen and your studio and your own space, then those tend to be the most expensive ones. We have some limited accommodations on campus as well. But yeah, check the website to do a virtual tour. But let's talk to Aishwarya about accommodation.
So I opted for the university accommodation only. It's called Cleveland's. It's not in the university, it's in the city. So, and I opted for like an ensuite room. So my washroom is in the room itself. Also, I'm sharing, so it's like a flat basically. I'm sharing the flat with nine other people. So there are 9 rooms, 9 ensuite rooms, and we share a kitchen. So it's quite convenient. I have, I have a bigger bed than a single bed. So it's like a mid-sized bed, and I have a very, very huge window. So it's lovely to stay here. It's very close to the university. You definitely, it's possible to walk to the university, but you'll have to climb up the hill. So like Siddharth mentioned,
Not
like,
recommended.
yeah, but it's easy to walk back. It's like a 15 minutes walk back, and you can also stop by, to the skyline. You can go to the skyline in the middle and then come to the, your accommodation. So that's there. I am paying around £900 monthly for an ensuite room, but there are other rooms as well. So my friends are sharing bathrooms as well, and there are smaller ensuite rooms. So the rates differ, and like I think there are a variety of rooms and options, and like you can, whatever suits you, you can opt for that. So
yeah, depending on what you want to choose and whatever is your cup of tea,
yeah,
choose the accommodations accordingly, definitely. And Varsha, what do you think? Let's not talk about how it is. Let's talk about what kind of services do you get in your accommodation: cleaning, cooking. I know that most probably haven't done any kind of cooking at all. So do you want to talk a bit about that?
Thank you. 2 criteria that I had while I was choosing my accommodation is, one, I wanted to be in the city center so that everything else is accessible. And second is that I wanted to have a peer group of at least master students, like I just didn't want to isolate myself. So that is something that I wanted to be very sure of. And that's the whole reason why I chose Thornbank Gardens, which is in the city center. Like city center is just 5 minutes away from my place, which is very convenient for me.
Yeah.
And if I had to go to the uni, I just have a bus, which is like a minute walk from my place. I can just grab onto it and hop into the bus and reach the uni anytime. Answering your question on the kind of services that I get in my accommodation, mine is also an ensuite room with kitchen shared by 6 other people.
Yeah,
And
I was just saying, who's faster than Thornbank?
yeah, that's right. The cleaning team used to clean the kitchen like weekly once, entire deep cleaning, and you just have to make sure that your cleaning part is done, so that they just clean the entire kitchen for you. That is not a problem at all. And if you have any discrepancies towards room, like for say your radiator is not working, or I had one of the times where my radiator wasn't working, and within 20 minutes the problem got solved. And I was like, okay, wow, that was winter, and I'm so grateful that they just took it off in 20 minutes. And even they come and clean your washrooms. They ask in prior if you want to get your washrooms cleaned, so they send a email communication to all the roommates, and if you are available and if you want to take up that cleaning service, you can always avail to them. And in the upcoming weeks, we also have a cleaning on the shower head. So any problem with discrepancy to your room, it's always been addressed. It's just an email communication. And there's always a person to take care of the entire building on particular timing. So my in charge name is Carlos. She takes care of the entire building. Any discrepancies, anything, you can just walk into her room and tell her this is my problem, and she'll get it addressed immediately. That is one of the major advantages of living in the university accommodation. And any emergency for that matter, if you're not well or anything for that matter, while you activate safe zone, it's just very quick and they just come. I had one of my friends living in Cleveland and she had an emergency. We just called the security and they just took 15 minutes to reach our place and they took to the hospital. I think the advantage of living in the city is just that, because they're all very accessible and reachable. And that's something that is amazing by the uni accommodation. And while applying for a uni accommodation, they'll ask you a lot of preferences, like gender preference for room, and then even food options. Like I am a vegetarian, so I wanted a vegetarian flatmate. So these are all some options that they'll ask you, and they'll make sure to put you in that classification so that your stay in the university accommodation is peaceful. So these are some of the options that the uni provides, and they conduct a lot of events as well. During the Chinese New Year, they were hosting a party downstairs. All the Chinese community came together and they hosted a party. There's always something called a common room in Thornbanks Garden, wherein you can pull in people for your birthdays and you can just have a meeting over there and have a lot of fun. The room has a capacity of 25 to 30 people, which is amazing. And you've got an elevator to bring up your huge suitcases that you'll be having when you're coming for the first time. So these are all the advantages that I had, and I'm personally benefited by all of them in the uni accommodation.
Right. Thank you, Varsha. One word of advice from me: learn to cook. If you don't learn to cook, if you want to save money, you'll never learn to cook when you're coming here. Okay, moving on to a very important part of your student life here, student support. So as you can see on the screen, there's different kinds of support available: academic, welfare, and graduate support. Maybe if you're struggling a bit with English or if you want to learn other languages. So for students, the university does offer support Mandarin, then there are free sessions available for you to get enrolled in. And one-to-one guidance. In courses, you also get a personal tutor so that you can they can help you to navigate the academic side of things, because the education systems can be a bit different in India and UK comparatively. There's a lot of focus here on research. My background was computer science. I had never done a piece of research in my entire life before I came here. And that's what you need to get used to when you come here, do some research, get used to the education system. But there is support everywhere. And suppose if you are from multiple faith groups, then there are faith rooms on campus where you can go to pray, and there's a medical center on campus where you can get your vaccination or whatever you may need. There are other hospitals in and around the city as well. So depending on where you live, get involved with them accordingly. Okay, now talking about graduate support. I know that a lot of you will have questions about this, but let's touch on this briefly with one of our students. Ashwarya, have you used any of these services so far? Career support like CV or whatever,
Yes.
if you'd like to talk about it.
So there are people always helping. For example, there's this person called Caroline and Sarah. So both of them are responsible for basically the management cohort. And so I usually book appointments with Caroline for a short 10-minute session with her, where I will send her my CV prior to the appointment, and then she'll check the whole CV and let me know what changes I should make. And so that there's a lot of CV help. One, two, if you basically clear your assessment somewhere and you have an interview with a firm, they will help you prepare for the interview. So you just need to mail Caroline or Sarah or Matt. And yeah, they will help you out with that as well. So I think it's very easy going. They are always available whenever you need it. Even if I'm sure if I get a PWC, thankfully if I do, if I get an interview tomorrow and if I mail them today, if it's I need an immediate help from all of you, I'm sure they'll definitely one of them will reply, or if they're not available, they'll arrange somebody else to prepare me for the interview. So I think, and the best part is that you can get these services even after graduating. So that's what I think it's good, even if I, after I graduate, I can just come back to them anytime to alter my CV or take help for assessment centers. Yeah. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, like Ashwarya mentioned, you get a lifetime of career support even after you graduate, which is quite important. Maybe I'll use it in the future. Yeah, you never know, but there are other things available from the university as well. For example, there's an alumni network. There's a website called Future at Bath where specific job opportunities for students are advertised. The only thing that you need to do is maybe just give your career counselor a heads up so that you can get the edge in the interview. There are sometimes they have got good industry connections with those companies, so they can give them a call ahead so that you get the edge in the first round. Or after that, it's going to be you anyways. But one thing that I'd like to emphasize on is that placement does not mean the same thing as it does in India. You can talk to the companies when they come here on campus, but it's just for you to make connections, ask any questions. They will not hire you on the spot. You have to go through a due process, through their website or whatever, wherever the company is. Okay. Let's move on quickly with the presentation. So I've talked a bit about employability, starting your own business. So getting a part-time job, the university and the students union does help you in getting a part-time job. For example, even in our team, we have got student ambassador opportunities. Even if you're an undergraduate student, they may be with the department or with the admissions team or recruitment directly. So have a look out for them. But Bath is a student city. Overall, 2/3 of its population during term time is made up of students. So there are cafes, you can work as a sales assistant. It depends on what kind of job you can get. Yeah, but there are plenty of part-time job opportunities available, and you can work 20 hours a week according to visa regulations if you are an international student. And if you're doing an undergraduate degree, there might be an internship available or a placement. All of the UG courses, 100% of them have a placement opportunity available, so that you can work for 1 year as a part of your degree. And then after that, as all of you know, or when you've done all of your studying, then you look for a job, which we just talked about with Bachelor earlier. Okay, so now talking about the fun part of the university life. Award-winning students union. So there are 6 officers who represent different areas. Suppose if the whole student community is facing any problems, so they are the ones who campaign and support your opinions. I did the same role 1 year earlier before this job. So I was the postgraduate officer, which you can contact if you are facing any problems through your university life. And there are about 140 clubs and societies. And here's a small list. You can go to the website and look at them in detail if you like. Let's talk about them very quickly. Varsha, are you involved in any of the clubs or societies? If you are, would you like to share your experience with us?
Yeah, I am involved in a variety of societies. I'm in the Indian society, and there's a Tamil society as well, and something like consulting women in business. And my favorite is the Women in Business Society, because they host a lot of social events, and you get to meet a lot of people from corporates. People come, and the kind of inspiration that they give is amazing. And through that, I was able to make a lot of friends. And these societies help a lot in like finding your like-minded people, and finding people with your interest. And that's something that I've always loved about these societies. Though I didn't get to go to a lot of socials that they organized, I did get myself involved in a couple of socials that the Women in Business Society hosted, and it was really great because they put in a lot of effort, and they actually bring in people who have made innovations, and like they speak a lot about women empowerment and how they succeeded as a woman in spite of gender bias and stuff like that, which was very interesting for me. And with the Indian Bath Society, there are a lot of festivals, like they celebrate Holi and Diwali, and they organize a lot of parties wherein you wouldn't feel that you're away from home. And like initially, so when we came in September, the first festival was for us was Diwali, and you never get to have the feeling that we are home alone and things like that. So they just give that community, and you can have like a lot of fun. And it's also a part that you get to dress in your Indian attire, and all of that was very exciting when you come away from home. And it actually feels a lot when you are away from home. And all those were really great, and those initiatives are something that I really liked.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your experience, Varsha. And again, you can either just get involved with the societies or you can do the elections, which do start after you come here. So if you want to arrange stuff on your own for any society, then you can do it. And suppose if there's any society or club that we don't have, all you need is 3 people. The rest will happen automatically. We've had some weird ones in the past years, like Waffle Society or whatever. So those other societies you can create as well, if you're new, if there's something that we don't have here. Aishwarya, would you like to talk about your experience quickly?
Sure. I participated in the meditation society actually in the first semester, I remember, because everything was really new to me. And, I was starting to study again, like after 3 years, because there was a gap like between my undergrad and my postgrad. So I wanted some mental stability. So I used to go to these sessions.
Mindfulness.
Yes. So I used to go for these sessions and it was amazing because there were like-minded people. I found friends there, one, and two, it was really calming. And I remember like whenever I used to come, it used to happen like every, once a week. So very nice sessions, this. And I also did participate I learned Spanish. So I'm not sure if it's part of the SU, but
Spanish, I don't think so. If it's just a course, then it's maybe delivered directly by the university.
Basically, I think so basically all courses can opt for this. Like we have language learning classes, and they then give me a certificate as well for like learning the elementary Spanish level of Spanish. So that's been good. Other than that, I've not had like a lot of time to be involved, but there are plenty of opportunities if somebody's like really active to do these things. I think it's amazing.
Great. Thank you for sharing your experience, Ashura. Yeah, you can also try wine and cheese or just have a look at the huge list of clubs and societies when you do come here. And yeah, get involved. Have as much fun as you like in 1 year of masters or 4 years of undergraduate studies. Okay. Moving on, so this is some of the pictures of a sports training village. Again, all of these accessible to you for free, including the swimming pool. There you can book them anytime, book slots, or book the facility or whatever you want to play. And we were named Sports University of the Year. Bath is one of the sports facilities. And in just a quick add-on here, if you'd like to showcase this. So we got about 11 gold Olympic medals in Tokyo 2020. Swimming or basketball, whatever it may be. So there were many sports that we really did excel at. And you'll be training with Olympians, and we also get access to coaches who can train you if you want to participate internationally, if you want to get proper training. Okay, so again, this is a quick add-on. So if you are interested in arts, maybe music, theater, drama, painting, so we have the state-of-the-art 10.5 million pound center on campus, again accessible completely for free for all of the students. You can book these practice rooms, you can try painting if you like, you can try to play piano, drums. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's available. That's what I'm trying to say on campus. Okay, so this is how the city looks like. So there will be some snapshots coming up, and after that we'll just take on questions, and I'll try to go through this very quickly. Bath is UK's only UNESCO World Heritage City. That means it's got pretty views around the whole city, and as a student you get free access to all of these touristy attractions, which might be quite expensive otherwise. So it's good for you to look at, and if you've got a scholarship, your scholarship ceremony will be in this beautiful Roman baths behind you. And it is one of the safest university cities in the UK. I've been on walks towards in the night too, when I'm studying in the university, and at other times I've been back from Bath. You get a library card, and like Ashwin and Varsha was talking earlier, you just need to call them up. They will come immediately whenever you may need their help. Right? And this is the famous Bath stone that you can see on the building. So you will find this everywhere, even at the university, if it's not in the city, you will see this stone everywhere. Yeah, some lovely snapshots of the city of Bath, and this is Bath Abbey, where graduation ceremonies are usually held. So you will see them in operation as a student. these are some touristy attractions. Okay, so just quick information, even if you're living in the city, you can reach the campus 15 to 30 minutes by bus, and you get free entrance to all of the attractions and museums, and estimated cost of living in Bath is about £17,000 per year. It also depends on your lifestyle. So I spent about £13,000 pounds. So if you learn to cook, that's why I mentioned this earlier with some emphasis, then you'll save a lot of money. If you eat out, if you order. So yes, it can range according to your lifestyle, which you're living here in the UK. So plan your budget accordingly. There are plenty of benefits, student finance. If you want some help, or if you have trouble managing finance, so there are services available that you can access. Okay. So let's end the slideshow. So if you want to contact me, this is the contact information on your screen that you can see. ss3835@bath.ac.uk. You can email me, or for any other general inquiries, feel free to email the UG or PG admissions team. You can find the details on the website as well. Okay, let's start the questions. You speak to you.
Thank you for taking out time and giving us this insightful presentation. Now time for Q&A session. I will call out the question from YouTube chat box. Okay, so the first question is, for international students, is there any help to find jobs in the UK after graduation or during the studies?
Okay, I'll let Aishwarya answer this, as she is probably using the services.
Sure. Honestly, so honestly, I feel like I have been applying for jobs and it's not been easy, to be honest. Yeah. I think the economy is doing pretty bad in general in the UK.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So there are job opportunities. I won't say that you won't get a job. It's easy to find a job but to find a sponsored job is where, it's tricky. But now with PSW, I feel you can sponsor yourself and, experience living here. And I'm sure, I am assuming when I calculate everything that even if I take PSW with a decent job, I will be able to live for 2 years and cover all my expenses. And then, meanwhile, look for a sponsored job. Yeah. So, yes, it's difficult, but I have friends who have got it. And so you have to have a little bit of luck on your, side.
Yeah, and persistence.
Yeah, yes, correct. Persistence is necessary. That's about it, honestly. It's not impossible, 100%.
Yeah. Again, I have used these services too, that Aishwarya was talking. PSW is the boom right now. So even if you just want to travel around the UK, it's quite useful if people want to do a job for some months, then yeah, you can do it. But usually if you work with a company, then they just want to see if you're a good employee or not. So if you work with them, maybe they can sponsor you in the future, and 2 years is a long time anyways. You can change the job. If you don't get the sponsorship, I don't think it's necessary when you are getting a job first of all at the beginning. If you got it, then great. Otherwise, it's fine anyways too. So, next question.
Yeah. Can we get job easily? Can we get job easily after completing masters in sociology?
Okay, so both Aishwarya and Varsha are not from sociology. Again, it depends on how the job market is and what kind of jobs you're applying for. So I wouldn't say it's easy or hard. You need some persistence. For example, some people apply for 20 companies and get the job. Some may need to apply for 50, some just need 1 or 2. So it depends on how the experience is, how the CV is, or if the company see that if you have the right fit or not. So there may be some rejections, but you need to apply again and again. But according to the data, 93% of graduates get a job within 3 months of graduating, and that's from the last year. So we are known for our employability in the UK. So there will be support at every stage. I'm sure if you're a good student, you'll get it.
Okay. Can you please tell me the deadline for January 2024 intake, or if there is any scholarship available?
So we don't have any January intake. We only have a September intake. take for all of the faculties at school. And for scholarships, there are plenty of scholarships starting from 5,000 funds available. All of those scholarships are academic scholarship. That means we'll consider all the students who apply equally. So after you get the offer, then you can apply for the scholarships. Yeah, so have a look at the website. All of them, all the details are added there. But then ask questions for those of you who are interested in this.
How big is the Indian community at Bath?
Let's talk to Varsha.
Indian community is quite a large in number, especially considering this intake, and you can see a lot of Indian doing their masters and in various subjects, be it in School of Management or automobile or engineering. There are a lot of Indian students, so you will never feel that you are left alone. You'll never feel lonely here, because you can always see people who are from your place. And that's the thing about Bath. You can see a lot of Indian crowd as well. You can have a lot of interaction with people from other countries. So there are quite a lot of people from India in a large number. So that's not something that you have to worry about. So you can have a lot of Indian friends.
Yeah. A word of advice on that one. Try talking to people from other communities as well. That's where you widen your experiences. If you just stick within your own group, you may not get the whole cultural experience that you get. So try to everyone that you can be outgoing. That's what I like to say. Okay, the next question, please.
Okay, I had applied for MBA in Leadership and Management at University of Bath in the month of May, but till now I didn't receive any.
In the month of? What month did you say?
Yeah, I'll just repeat the question again.
Yeah.
I had applied for MBA in Leadership and Management at University of Bath in the month of May, but till now I didn't receive any kind of information from the official of Bath.
Okay, so it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for us to process any application right now, because it's a later time of the year. It can take 6 weeks. So if it hasn't been 6 weeks, if it has been 6 weeks, and if you still haven't heard back, feel free to email me with your application number. You can see my email on the screen to share with you. But yeah, you need to wait a little bit. The admission teams, I'm sure they will be in touch with your application.
Okay. How do you select applicants? What aspect do you look for in an application?
Okay, so first of all, they should be academically doing well. That's the basic necessity. So we require a first class degree. That's a bare minimum requirement. After that, it boils down to your statement of purpose, which we look at in great detail, and your letter of references. So any kind of experience that you have had, the better marks you have, the better chance of getting in. But we do consider each and everything, and your professors or whoever is on the admission team will look at your application, so they will see if you're the right fit or not. Don't worry if you haven't got the experience, because a lot more courses are for fresh graduates, like the course that Aishwarya or Varsha and those are designed for people for making the switch. So don't worry if you don't have any experience. You can say that, oh, I had my mother with a business, or you maybe just got involved with subject in your school. So yeah, it's your passion. And you can look for general writing guidelines or how to write an SOP on the website if you want to have a look.
Have 3 years of experience in management. Can I apply for an MBA, or is there any specialized course for 1 year duration?
Okay, so I would say if you've got 3 years, that's probably not enough for an MBA. You need at least like 4 to 5 years of managerial work experience. So if you don't have that, my suggestion would be to go for a master's, depending on the specialization. Maybe it's entrepreneurship, marketing, human resources, finance. There are plenty of management courses available. You can have a look at them, and then you can get into the UP or with us directly, and we will help you whatever you need to do.
Who are the top employers after completing MBA?
So we work with quite a huge variety of companies, and probably if you've seen the website, it's used to be one of my flatmates who's on the website now. So a lot of them work at different companies, maybe DPD. It also depends on the kind of industry that they work. Maybe if it's supply chain, it could be DPD. If it's computer science, it could be IBM. If it's banking, it could be Lloyds, Barclays, Nationwide, whatever bank it could maybe. So it depends. Some of them can be local companies who are looking to expand their business. Some of them can be international companies. Yeah. So you can apply for jobs directly. You don't have to apply through the universities.
Okay. So next question is there any help available from the university while looking for jobs in the form of career fair or something like that?
I think we can move on from that nuclear to the Azure University. So that quite in detail. Yeah. We can move on to the next question, I think, because we have answered that one already.
Okay. I want to do masters in finance, but my undergraduate degree is computer science. Will I able to pursue that?
Yeah, that's completely fine. So like I said earlier, you can do a master's in finance, or you can do the degree that Ashwarya is doing, maybe management with finance, if you want to learn more about management side of things. Both the degrees are fine, either MSc in finance or MSc in management, and you can specialize with finance, depending on what your interest is. We accept people from all backgrounds for these degrees.
Okay. I have covered all the questions from YouTube chat box. Thank you for answering all the questions so well. Do you want to share any final words?
I will ask Ashwarya and Varsha one by one. What's one piece of advice that both of you would like to give future students?
I think you mentioned, Siddharth, before that, learn how to cook, because that's something a lot of people struggle with, to learn cooking and get your cookers here, because it's very helpful.
Pressure cookers.
Yeah, pressure cookers. So that, and I think pretty much the university will help you out in everything. Just enjoy the process when you join and go with the flow. It'll be good.
Yeah, attend those. There will be multiple sessions coming up. Register on the website. They're called Living in a New Culture. So kind of stuff you need to bring, how to open a bank account, how to get on a bus. So if you are maybe like me, who has never been to the UK before, some of these things can be stressful. So yeah, register to those sessions and then meet students and staff and ask them all sorts of questions. Okay. Thank you, Ashwarya. What's your one word of advice?
I'd say enjoy a lot of home food, that how much ever you can now. And after coming here, just learn how to, balance your time, have a lot of fun at the same time, pay a lot of attention towards your master's course, because it's just 1 year and it will sprint off. I have no idea how, September to, it's almost June now, and I don't know how time sprinted. So just enjoy all that you can, have a lot of fun and learn everything. Every day is a learning here when you come here, and especially please learn cooking and come. I was someone who did not know a thing about cooking, and now I think I'm doing a great job. So learn cooking and, learn to multitask. Everything will be fine when you come here. So don't panic. Just enjoy your stay here, and you'll love everything about Bath. And it was a lovely experience for me. So you guys should also have a lot of great experiences.
Great. Thank you, Varsha. I think we've got two great pieces of advice.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. All the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact SI UK India office. For more update, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye-bye. Take care.
Hey, you let us know once you have stopped the live stream. If you're there.
It will be live for 1 more minute. We'll show the banner, then it will end.
Okay.
Like we can talk after 1 minute.
Yeah. Right? Yukti, has it ended? Let's wait 1 minute.